returned. Right now, Georgie and Sam are still playing on this table. The next matchup will be Moritz and Walter. So Georgie and Sam are just now getting into finishing this rack. And then once they are done with this match, we'll have the next one up, ready to go. Right now, Sam is on the hill in this match. It looks like Georgie was having a little bit of a hard time keeping up with Sam. So hopefully he can make a comeback here. Hopefully my voice audio is doing okay for you guys. I did move to a different location in my house. I moved over to the desktop. Because I am streaming from my home. So I'm remoting into these cameras with Digital Pulse Syndicate. Welcome back to everybody that's coming to tune in again, and welcome to new viewers as well. Right now, Sam is looking at the way, seeing how he can run this rack. And just beat Georgie right here, or if Georgie's going to get another chance. It's looking more and more like Sam's gonna clear this one. And there it is. Sam beat Georgie. Georgie is now going to go on the B side. He is not out of the tournament. He is still in it. And we will be moving on to the next match that's going to be on this table, which is Moritz versus Walter. Bear with me while I get the score updated and ready to go for the next match. Alright, they're gearing up over there to the right, and they'll be shooting here in a bit. I'm gonna share the bracket for this tournament in the chat in just a moment, so you guys can take a look at the bracket and see where everybody's at. Make sure you guys like, share the stream. I'm sure some people would love to see this match. It's the 8:11 Fargo versus the 7:35 Fargo. So it should be a pretty good match here. Looks like we're gonna have a little back and forth here between these two. It's playing a little bit of defense here until they can get a nice opening to make a couple balls. There we go. Walter has gotten a ball. Let's see if he can work on clearing this up now. Pretty sure that 5 goes past the 8 ball. He's got the 4 in the corner, come up for the 5. He's gonna draw back for the 6 ball. Or go 2 rows and get behind the 6. And he's hitting low. I don't think he quite got to where he was hoping he would get. Very nice bank shot, but an unfortunate scratch. That means Moritz can take this and run with it. It's a pretty open table, especially with the ball in hand. That scratch is gonna hurt. And there it is. He's about to secure this first rack. He has secured the first rack in this race to 9. These two could very easily go back and forth, but I'm pretty sure Moritz is definitely a favorite of this match. Oh wow. I was just thinking to myself that 3-9 is looking kind of juicy right there with that 9 sitting in the side pocket. But I'm sure these players are more than likely to want to play the rack out rather than go for that early 9, but it's very possible they'll go for that. It looks like he can be out here. It looks pretty clear run out for him. Nice draw shot. Probably another draw shot, or maybe just a stop shot just to get a leave on the 7 into the side. Looks like he's gonna do a draw. Very nice. Very, very nice. And looks like he's about to get his second rack. Before you know it, he could get ahead of Walter, and Walter will have to have a hole to dig out of if he's not too careful. There it is. He's up now 2-0. Unfortunately, for anyone that's watching on Facebook, my Facebook has decided to disconnect, unfortunately. So hopefully everybody will be redirected to YouTube because Facebook is not much of a friendly, not very friendly to streaming much anymore. Alright, well, looks like this stream is going to be a YouTube exclusive stream only. So hopefully people will start entering over here to watch. At least my stream. There are other streams going on, and there are pay-per-view streams where Frank Miletti is streaming the feature table with Billiard Sports Network. And if you want a discount off the pay-per-view pass, you can use my link for $5 off. Looks like Walter is about to get a wrap. Let's knock on wood and not jinx it though. You don't want to give him that commentator's curse. Unfortunately, I have been kind of giving that to a couple people lately. So, crossing your fingers, he makes it and doesn't get that commentator's curse. Sorry about the abrupt dog barking. I am at home. Oh, Walter did get the 9 ball. Yeah, she woke up dead asleep to start barking. She's a goober. She thought she heard something suspicious, so she decided to go with full bark mode. You got a nice little bump for the 4 ball. Can he come back for that 5 ball? Probably thinking about drawing it maybe. A little bit of a tough shot. could leave on that 5. Draw back and go 1 rail back to the table. To line up for that 6 ball. Yep, looks like he is going 2 rails and almost got stuck behind the 8 ball. Almost. At least I'm pretty sure he still has a window here. Yep, he does. Just enough to get back down to the 7. Alright, just stay focused and he can start to catch up to Moritz. Slow down, cue ball. One ball at a time, and we'll get closer and closer to evening out this race. There we go. Walter got another one on the board. It is now 3-2. The Moritz still in the lead. And Walter is getting closer to closing that gap that Moritz has started to create. Alright, so I'm looking at the bracket to see which rounds are going to be coming up. So right now we are streaming the 6 p.m. round. The next round is going to be at 8 p.m. And then that will be the last round for tonight. And tomorrow it starts again at 11 a.m. However, I won't be streaming tomorrow. More than likely, you can obtain a pay-per-view pass using my discount code if you want $5 off that pay-per-view pass. Or you can look for someone else that might be streaming matches here and there on Facebook or YouTube. But I won't be able to stream tomorrow, so I'm glad I'm able to bring you guys some of the content from this tournament, and I'll see you guys on the next tournament when that comes up. I'm gonna take a look here and see who I'm gonna pick for the 8 o'clock match for the last round of the night. Alright, looks like Moritz is about to get the 4 here. He's slowly sneaking away from Walter. He's got a little bit of a long shot down the rail for that 9 ball. But definitely makeable for these guys. If it was me, it will hit off of that side pocket, point and not go in. But these guys, they can definitely make it work. I'm just your average amateur pool player, admiring some pro players. And hopefully learning from them too. There it is, 4-2. He's slowly climbing away from Walter. Not a bad defense, but I think you can still kind of see the 2 ball. You might not be able to see it to go into a pocket, but I'm pretty sure you can still see it at least to make contact. Out comes the extension. A little bit of a stretch across this table. If it was me, I'd be using the bridge because I'm a little short. Good shot. Looks like he's gonna have to put the 8 probably in the same pocket, the same corner pocket. The 9 would likely go into the other corner. Alright, that brings this match 5-2 and a race to 9. There's a gap building that Walter's gonna have to try and get out of. It's gonna be a little bit of a tough one for him. Beautiful defense by Moritz, hiding that cue ball ever so nicely behind the 8 and 6 and tucking the 1 right up there with the 4 ball. Walter's gonna have to do some work with this shot, and it looks like Moritz called the ref to come keep an eye on the shot to make sure it is a clean shot. So it will be close with all those balls tucked in together. It looks like he hit the 4 ball, so it's ball in hand. I'm going to draw this back for that 2 ball, so it's up table. I wonder where he's going to go with 3. He might go up table with 3 ball, or will he probably line up to play a defensive shot, or even a combo. There's so many options here for that. And if you're new to watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe so you can catch the other streams that will be coming on in the future on here. And share it as well. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers. Currently I am at 229, so I am almost halfway there. 500 is definitely the goal though. This could be a little back and forth defense here. And just skim that 3 ball. Probably gonna hide it behind. Yep, put it behind the 4. Not a bad leave. So Walter might masse the shot. I don't think this will be a good shot to try and jump the 7 and cue ball pretty close together right here. Nope, did not work out, unfortunately. Here comes Moritz with another ball and hand shot. And on the table behind these guys is Lee Van Corteza. He's currently playing Brandon Schuff. That is, I believe, the feature table. That's the table that Frank Maialetti is streaming currently with Billiard Sports Network. So if you want to go check that out, you can go get a pay-per-view and watch that match. He has some very good quality cameras on that table. Currently that match is 7-3. Lee Van Corteza is 7. Brandon Schuff is at 3. For anyone that was wondering what the score is. Moritz could get another rack here. This looks like a fairly open table. Everything's pretty much in a good order for him to go back and forth to get a nice alignment on these balls. And the 9's just sitting pretty right there on that rail. Don't want it to roll too far. But that looks like it's perfectly fine. Doesn't look like he can scratch with the shot. And this one will bring him to 6-2. There it is. He is making that gap bigger and bigger with every rack. Walter is slowly falling behind. Let's see if he can make a comeback. Very nice break, but is he gonna get the 2 ball? He's gonna get eyes on it too? Looks like he can. Looks like he might have a window there between the 8 and 6 ball. This could be a run-out rack for him. Got the 3 in the corner, 4 in the corner, and 5 down here by this corner. Yeah, I think he can run this rack. Oh, I'm going for the side with the 4 ball. It just looked like he was looking at the corner, possibly. I'm gonna draw back for the 5 ball. Nice and smooth. Yeah, this is a pretty clean rack for him. That break made a big difference. Alright, this is gonna be even harder of a hole for Walter to dig out of, especially when if he makes this 9 ball. There it is. He is now bringing it 7-2. One more and he will be on the hill, but I believe it is Walter's break. Alright, is that 2 gonna stay in a good spot? Looks like it did. You could go up the corner, you could just follow the cue ball up table. And get leave on that 3 ball. Thank you everyone who has subscribed to the YouTube channel. I am just over halfway now. I'm at 232 on the way to 500. I don't want to say anything on Walter's wreck. I don't want to give him commentator's curse. Because he is down, so let's see how he does. There we go, Walter. That was a break and run for Walter. Bringing him to 3 racks against Moritz 7 racks. The ref had just got comfortable in his chair. It's usually when it happens, when as soon as you get comfortable, you immediately have to get back up to do something. Hello, Chadwick. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream. Oh, I see that he is out. He lost 9-4. That was a rough one. He was doing good. This is Heather Graham, also known as Roller Girl. This is my streaming page. I'm here doing the commentary. I'm not the best at commentary, but I do try. Well, at least he's honest. We love a good honest player when they're playing. We don't want anybody that's trying to sneak away with a foul, hoping nobody saw it. I've got to talk to Lucas before at Turning Stone. It's a pretty nice guy. Thank you, appreciate it. I'm just hoping Walter can at least dig himself out of this hole before Moritz gets a hold of this heel wrap. I'm also trying not to give these guys commentators first, because I believe that is a thing. Pretty sure I caused the commentators curse in an earlier match yesterday. Oof. See, I think these guys having their own like video at their chairs where they can do like an instant replay would be very beneficial and probably cut out a lot of the fouls, and I'll cut out a lot of the incorrect fouls. So if they call on herself but it's not really a foul, they don't lose their game. Or if it was a questionable shot, they could just do a quick rewind and slow-mo and see if it was a foul or what would happen. I think a little like replay video or something at their chairs would be beneficial. It looks like Lee Van Corteza just beat Brandon Schuff. He beat Brandon Schuff 9-3. And Levan Corteza is going to be moving on to the next stage, which will be starting tomorrow at 11 a.m. Well, this is a fun article that just came out from World Pool Association, or WPA as most people know it. They have just did a media release stating that WPA is banning waxing balls during matches. They said they will implement additional checkpoints and equipment inspections during tournaments to detect and prevent this type of misconduct. I wonder if Matchroom is going to release something in regards to that. Yep, absolutely, definitely. This is a all ball foul tournament. It makes it tough just to, like, for women with their hair is down, they can foul like that. Their hair will just barely touch the ball and that'll be it. Or shirt, anything. So you do want to be very careful about what's going on when you're down shooting. It makes it pretty tough sometimes. They are going to ban waxing the cue balls. I don't know if you watched the recent tournament over in Dubai, but there's a lot of allegations going on about players putting wax on the ball so it spins more or moves a lot more around the table. So WPA just released an article stating that there is a wax ban in their policy now. Yeah, it definitely makes it tough for bigger people when they're playing. Gotta suck in that belly and try not to touch that ball. I have seen it happen a lot though, where it is tough, especially on these 9-foot tables where you have to stretch almost full table to get a ball. It makes it hard. That's when the bridge and extension definitely comes in handy. But it's still pretty tough because you're stretching to where you're almost uncomfortable trying to reach that ball, and then it'll risk your shot. Yeah, the whole wax gate situation is kind of funny, I think. I was kind of keeping up with it through Dominic Dunn's posts on his group and all the videos they've been doing. If trying not to touch the ball is your motivation to do that, you might as well go ahead and work on it. And lots of discipline. Oh yeah, I'm a very short person, so I'm about 4'11", and these 9-foot tables are my enemies, but I love them. I definitely become best friends with those. So I know you're feeling with the relationship on the extension and the bridge. It's absolutely needed. Looks like Moritz is going to have a little bit of a tough cut here. Just wants to make sure he's going to hit that ball. He'll give Walter an opportunity at the table. Wow. Very nice kick shot by Moritz. And he can see the 8-ball. Looks like that 8-ball will probably go into the side pocket or up table. The nice thing about these 9-foot tables, they definitely make you a better player when you're playing on them. That's for sure. Very challenging tables. Alright, he looks like he's about to get on the hill here. All he has to do is cut this 9-ball into the corner. Very nice. That is now 8-3. The winner of this will advance to the next stage, which starts tomorrow at 11 o'clock, and then the loser will go play. Let's see who's gonna end up playing him. Scrolled too far. I'm just looking at the bracket real quick. Loser to 104. So the loser of this one could either play Hunter Frazier or Hui Dang. I think that's how you say his name. I'm not the best at pronouncing. Nice, so you're definitely familiar with the 9-foot table then. My league, we do have 9-foot tables up here that we could play on a lot where I'm at. But in league, when we suggest like, oh, let's play on a 9-foot table, we could bring in more teams. Like, oh no, everyone's so scared of a 9-foot table. Like, but it makes you a better player. And just try it. I promise you'll end up loving it. At least I think you'll end up loving it. I did whenever I started playing on a 9-foot table. No, right now this is the winner's side. This is still A side, this matches. And then there's just a couple more matches left on the A side that are playing out right now. So right now it looks like Felix Vogel, Gregorio Sanchez, John Mora, Sam Henderson, Lee Van Cortez are advancing to stage 2 because they just finished the A side, the winner side of the bracket. And then we still have this match left that's on my stream. We have Nathan Childress playing Payne McBride right now, which is currently 5-4. We have Tyler Starr playing Matt Clatterbuck, which is 6-2. Tyler is up. And those are the last A matches that are currently going on. Yep, it is true double elimination. So I'm pretty sure the finals would be whoever came from B side will have to beat the winner twice, or A side winner twice. And this is a WNT matchroom ranking event, so they do get points from this event. There's a pretty open table for Walter. He just has to manage to get up there for the 5-ball. And he could very much clear this table. I'm sure he can. He's more than capable of it. Yep. I think most match rooms, it's true double elimination for them. Right now, we do have quite a few B-side matches that are going to be playing at 8 o'clock. There are 8 matches that are going to be starting at 8 o'clock tonight, and 8 o'clock is their last round for tonight. And then tomorrow starts the second stage of this tournament at 11 a.m. Unfortunately, I won't be streaming tomorrow. I have a prior obligation I gotta attend to because I am playing a tournament locally tomorrow. But I will have more future tournaments for you guys to watch, and I do have some more WNT tournaments lined up. That's a remote stream like the one I'm doing now. Alright, Walter got another rack. That brings it to 8-4. Oh, you're right, police. So the last match will likely be an extended race rather than the person having to beat them twice. And the final match will be played at 6 p.m. tomorrow night. So yeah, you're right. Sorry. Thank you. Let's see if he's gonna get a good break here. Is that one ball gonna hide or is it gonna get bumped in? It got bumped into the corner. And he could see that 2 ball. I think he could probably see that 2 ball down here in this corner to the left on the screen. And a very good break. 3 balls on the break and being able to see the object ball you have to go for. This could be the match for them. This is an open table. Moritz can definitely run this. Which match would you guys like to see? Jeremy Long versus Georgie? Or Met Vigera versus Jonas Soto? Or Rodney. Actually, I think I'm going to do Rodney Morris versus Brandon Schuff. I think that'll be a really good match. Oof, that's rough. That's kind of my neck of the woods down there. I know exactly where Short Thing is, and I've been there a couple of times. Would you rather see Met versus Jonas? Or Rodney versus Brandon? The Met Jonas one would be a very good. Met Vigera's from up here where I live now in New York. He's from New York City. A very good player. I've had him on my stream a couple of times. Jonas? Alright, I'll switch over there. Just one moment. I just hope this isn't the table that was freezing on me earlier. I was trying to watch a match and it kept freezing, so I had to pick a different one. So let's switch over here and make sure this isn't the camera that was freezing constantly. Alright, yep, this is a good table. Actually, it's one just behind Moritz's match that he was playing on. Let me just adjust the screen a little bit. Bear with me. I'm gonna bring it down just a little bit more and get all 3 tables in view. There we go. If you hear random noises in the background, it's likely my dog. She's a little loud. Just bear with me while I update this scorekeeper. I prefer mine over the digital pool one because it's a little delayed. Or the digital pool goes a little bit faster than the video and I don't want things to spoil for you guys. practicing right now. I don't think I've played at that one. I haven't been in South Carolina in about 9.5 years now. I moved to New York forever ago, it feels like. So it's definitely been a while. I mainly frequented Strokers and Sumter, and occasionally Grady's over in Columbia. And then you had pool time, but unfortunately, pool time is not open anymore. They closed down, I think, last year. But being that you play in Masters, do you ever play a team that has Jared McGee on it? So I remember he was playing Masters for a while because I saw him out in Vegas. I think last year I saw him in Vegas. These guys are just practicing right now on this table until the next match starts. The next match doesn't start until 8 o'clock. I know who Landon Hollingsworth is. I actually had him on my stream yesterday playing Met Vigera, who's playing now on this table. He's a very good player. Pretty good kid. So since we have a little bit of break right here, if you're hungry, thirsty, whatever, now's the time to go run your errands, get a snack, get a drink, 'cause this match doesn't start until about 20 minutes. Ah, okay. So we probably haven't crossed paths. Maybe, maybe not. I mainly just frequented the Sumter, Florence area. Occasionally I would go to Myrtle Beach to hang out there, play pool, or do whatever. And they have some nice pool halls out there. The only thing I don't like about South Carolina since I moved to New York is this whole smoking indoors ordeal that they still have going on. In New York, you can't smoke indoors. Oh well, that's rough, Chad. Sucks getting stuck with people that you don't really want to be stuck playing with, especially in a Masters League. I've only been to Long Island once. I'm more so in the Albany area, in the capital region. I don't really care to go out towards the city area. It's very, very busy and congested. It's a lot. In Florence, I recommend Beyond Therapy. They only have 7-foot tables with one diamond, one 9-foot diamond, but all their tables are diamonds there. They have a bunch of tournaments going on there too. And then I think it's about 45 minutes from Florence. You could go to Strokers. Strokers has a very nice pool hall as well, but they only have one 9-foot as well. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of 9-foots in that area. But I'm sure over in Long Island where Pool Ace is, they probably have a lot of pool halls and areas to play in. At least closer towards the city there are. Yeah, an hour drive isn't too bad. But it's a lot of fun at Beyond Therapy. There's lots of good people out there. Jonas is getting ready to be playing Met. And Met's over there practicing on the table behind him. This is going to be a pretty good match here when they start playing. Yeah, you guys got the nice 9-foots out there. We have quite a few 9-foots out here in Albany. The favorite place to be at in Albany is Golden Q. We have a decent amount of tournaments at Golden Q too, and I usually go live with Golden Q tournaments every now and then, about once every couple months. And I actually bring my equipment out to Golden Q to go live. Whereas right now I'm just remote streaming from my house and just log into a camera through Digital Pool Syndicate. Jonas looks like he's shooting pretty good. Both these guys are getting amped up to play each other. Definitely gonna be a tough match. I wish I had a side view of the table so I can watch Jonas's break. He has a very, very interesting break, I'll say the least. Jonas got put on the B side by Felix Logan. Felix beat him 9-3. So that was a big gap between those two in that match. And then Met was put on the B side by Walter, who was just on the stream not too long ago. Walter beat Met 9-2. So that was a strong loss there also. Yeah, I love seeing those young players come and play in these tournaments. Being young and still shooting very well. And they aren't half the time, and half the time these young players aren't even in their prime yet for shooting. They're still growing in their game, so within a couple years, they're going to be a lot better than what they are now. In about 15 more minutes, we're going to be getting started here shortly. So if you haven't got your snacks and drinks yet, I definitely recommend doing that now. I actually got to go feed my dog real quick, so I'll be right back. Alright, I've returned. Yeah, I definitely recommend it. Look them up and see what nights they're having their tournament so you can go up there and play in a tournament sometime. Alright, we're getting closer and closer to the match time. And if you're looking to drive a little bit further, the place that these guys are playing at is over in Virginia, Front Royal, Virginia. The place is called On Q Sports Bar and Grill. So if you're feeling a little more adventurous, you can check out this pool hall too. Yeah, that's rough. I've been hearing a lot of bad things about Myrtle Beach since I left there. It's really unfortunate because it was a very nice area, and then all these nice places are kind of getting tore up a little bit because of everything that's been going on. It is in Royal Front, Virginia. This is the location of this pool hall that these guys are currently playing at. A bunch of beautiful 9-foot tables too. So yeah, if you have time tomorrow, you could probably even come up and watch these guys in person. You always gotta play for it. I know what you mean. I like the jokes. But tomorrow I won't be streaming because I will be playing in a tournament tomorrow, so I won't have time to come stream this tournament. So if you want to watch in person, you're more than welcome to go up there and watch in person. I'm sure they don't mind spectators. It looks like they do have quite a few there watching. Or if you want to watch online, I think there's a couple other people that are streaming this tournament. And they also have the pay-per-view, and I have a link where you can get $5 off the pay-per-view. This is Heather. My name's Heather. Some people know me as Roller Girl. Pretty much the main commentary for the stream as it is my streaming page. And every now and then I will have somebody else on streaming. On the past streams it'd be Natalie and other people like Chico, if anybody knows who Chico is. But ultimately it's mainly me. The next stream I'm gonna have on this channel, I believe I might have Battle of the Bull on this channel. However, I won't be monitoring that one or streaming that one myself. I'll have somebody doing my streaming page for me that week because I'm actually gonna be competing in Vegas. But I'll see if I can try and get something on for not next week, but the week of August 10th during that week. Thank you. Alright, about 5 more minutes till we get this match started between these two monster players. And on the table in the middle of this one and the far end one, Hunter and Walter will be playing on that table. And then the far back, let me see who's going to be on that one. The far back will be Quentin versus Yannick. They are both from the same country, too. And the one in the far back is the feature table, so that one is a pay-per-view match on the very far back. Oh, nice. I wish you luck when you do compete in this one next year. Are you competing in any other upcoming WNT or Matchroom tournaments? Yep, I think you are right. I'm pretty sure they are brothers. Kind of unfortunate they are facing each other on the B side of this bracket in this tournament. I'm sure they would rather play each other on the stage 2 and not stage 1. How many practice balls I hit a week? Well, I don't really do a lot of drills, I'm not gonna lie. I mainly play League. But I do, on occasion, probably like once or twice a week, I will practice on the 9-foot table because I do have a 9-foot table here at my house. Yeah, at least one does move on. I'm sure they're not going to take it easy on each other either. Here we go. Jonas and Met are lagging. I should practice more. I definitely should. I do really enjoy playing pool, but I kind of like streaming a little bit better than playing pool, I'm not gonna lie. They're both part of my hobby, and one of the only other things I do beside from work. But me, I'm no pro, I'm just your average amateur, out here trying to make it in the world of pool. Yeah, definitely. It is nice being able to provide this content for everyone who also enjoys the sport but aren't able to go see it in person or have the means to purchase the pay-per-view streams or any kind of stream that requires you to purchase things. So that's one thing I like that I'm able to do is bring this content to people's homes when they can't leave their home half the time to go watch these. Thank you for checking out the stream, Chad. I appreciate you. And thank you for giving me good luck in Vegas. Hopefully we do well. If you hear random noises in the background, it's just my dog being obnoxious. Like that. Is he gonna slot the one in? He did. You can still see the 2 ball. So that's good. I definitely can't stream all of the tournaments, but I'll definitely stream what I am allowed to and capable of. What kind of dog do I have? I have a Shar-Pei. She's got a bunch of wrinkles and she's just obnoxious sometimes. So when she shakes, she is very loud because of her wrinkles. Oh yeah. Ooh, he's gonna like this lead. And I think he has a very slight window to see this 2 ball. Not a very big window though. Oh yeah, I can imagine English bulldogs being high maintenance. This dog is also high maintenance. She's very needy. I had a friend who had an English bulldog. Well, guess he didn't have a window. He's going on the back side. It's a good hit, but he left it bunched up to that 9 ball. So that 9 ball could go flying or could even squeak into the side pocket there. It looks like Jonas is gonna play in defense here. Kind of keep everything nice and tucked right there. But by the way of his reaction, it wasn't quite what he wanted, that's for sure. They definitely do. Especially when they stand up to the 9-foot table. Matt is thinking about this one. I think he could see it into the corner pocket maybe. Or maybe even push the 8 into the side. I know I would definitely try and go for a defense here. and try to get the cue ball down here by the 4-5, but if I try to do that, I will just leave them in a pocket somewhere, 'cause my defense game and 9-ball is absolutely terrible. Yeah, Matt does not look comfortable with this shot. Did he get it? He did. Very nice. No, 6-ball just needs to slow down. Nope. Very nice shot. No reward, unfortunately. Poor Matt got no luck on that one. Wow. That's tough. That is very true. There is a decent delay here between my stream part to when it goes to the YouTube channel. I'm not sure if I can fix that delay before. The delay while I'm still alive. I think it has to be fixed when I'm not live. And also YouTube puts a delay in it too. I guess it just varies. Oh, you had 2 windows open? I gotcha. It's okay, I know the feeling. Every now and then I'll have multiple windows open myself and I'll just get confused as to where I'm supposed to be. It's like having multiple tabs open in your head. Is he gonna get a bump on the 8? Not quite. The 8 is in a little bit of a tough position, but Met does have an angle to go around to get on the backside of 8 to put it into the side pocket. Here you go, nice little bounce. It can run into the 9-ball when he goes to pocket at 8 and bring the 9-ball out. So Met could very well get this first rack of the game. And yeah, the 8 was in all day long. You just didn't want to bring the 9 out too far when you were pocketing it. Oof. That was a tough shot on that 9-ball too. Can't blame me this time. I didn't give him commentator's curse like I did yesterday to somebody. I'm trying to stay quiet on the 9-balls. I don't want to give everyone a commentator's curse again. Alright, so Jonas has gotten that first rack. It's a Mets break. Unfortunately, that should have been Mets rack, that one. And then unfortunately, he rattled that 9 ball and just missed the pocket. Hopefully, he can redeem himself here. It must have been a good match between Met and Tyler. I didn't really get to watch too many of the pro matches at the expo this year. I got to watch a couple of them and then I had to play my matches. That's a good break. I think he can see that 3 ball. Fortunately, the 6 kept rolling just a little bit, so he's not bridging over the 6 ball and then butt up right up to the cue ball. And Tyler's not an easy opponent, especially when he's on. I'm sure it was a tough match for Matt. Yep, I go to the Billiards Expo every year. It's one of my favorite tournaments to go to in person because there's just so much to do there, so much to watch. You can compete. There's a lot to do. It's only about a 4-hour drive for me. 4.5 hours, I believe. I'll have to go back and look. I don't... Are you talking about Christina to catch? I do remember seeing some pictures, but I don't remember all of them. My mind tends to draw blank sometimes. I probably saw them. I just can't picture them in my head right now, unfortunately. But I do remember seeing her out there with Fedor at his booth. She's one of my favorite female players next to Jasmine Ocean. I would love to meet Jasmine, but she is never near my area when she comes to the States. It's tough to get a match with them. You have to catch them at the right time. They're very popular. Like in the pool world, any of these pro players, you see them out in the open, it's like you're seeing a celebrity and you can become starstruck. It's a tough shot on the 5, so I think he's gonna play. Yep, play a defense. He can still. I think Jonas can still see the 5 ball. Hi, Frowny. I'm good. How are you? Hope you're having a good day so far. Oh, nice. You beat Jason. That's awesome. Jason's a funny guy. I love his accent. The FSR was walking around the open at the expo. He was just walking around doing some laps. I saw her a couple times. She was floating around. She was mainly at the Brunswick booth. And she's hard to spot because she's a little bit smaller. Every now and then you could see her though. I think Met can see a little bit of this 5-ball, but not enough to really get much on it. If he's gonna cut this, it's a really tough cut shot, so I think he'll hide it. Just need that cue ball to keep on rolling. Would have been nice if that 5-ball snuck right behind the 8 rather than right next to it. I think Jonas can see this. Not sure if he can make it. Can't really tell at this angle. Very nice. And then he's got a corner shot on the 6-ball. It's not too tough of a shot. Just gotta make sure you're lined up. And yep, just like that. And this could be Jonas rack right here. Just 3 balls to run, and they're all pretty much in the open, and 9 balls center table, so a 9-ball could go in pretty much any pocket almost, depending where you leave that cue ball. It's okay, I have a friend who also uses talk to text and it always fumbles her words. Alright, that brings Jonas up too. Before you know it, he could start leaving Met behind, so hopefully Met starts catching up in this match. It's a very nice break that Jonas has there. Need 3 balls. Looks like he's gonna have to do a combo here with the 4-6. And you don't want to lose control of that 4-ball. It could end up in a bad position. Kind of lost control a little bit there. So now I might have to play defense here or try a complicated bank shot. Very nice defense. Starting to look like most of the time when Met gets to the table, he doesn't really have much of a shot. So he's gonna masse it a little bit here. Go around that 9. Unfortunately, when you masse, you don't always quite get that spin that you want. That's ball in hand for Jonas. with a fairly open table. And I've been watching Jonas quite a bit because he comes up the Turning Stone for the Just tours, and I'll watch him at Turning Stone. He's a pretty good player. He does get a little carried away at times, but he's not bad. He definitely holds his own, and he does play to his 798 Fargo that he is. Jonas can close this up here and get even closer to 9 racks. Alright, that brings Jonas 3-0. And I believe Met is breaking. I think they're just waiting on the ref. I think they just have one ref for these 3 tables right now. They're not supposed to rack their own balls. The ref is supposed to do it. And here he comes. Oh, not yet. Here comes the other ref. They do have some very good refs in this tournament. They're very attentive to the players and the tables and what they need to do, and definitely a lot of praise for the refs. They spend their whole day monitoring these tables, making sure the matches are going accordingly. They are spending most of their time here doing this stuff while everybody else can kind of take a break and do what they gotta do, you know? Alright, here we go, a Mets break. Let's see if Met can look out with a good break. He's trying for that one ball on the side. And he's got a nice shot on the one. Made the 2 ball on the break. And that one is sitting up there with 3, nice and pretty. If you're ever in the New York City area or the downstate area, Met Vigera has some very nice pool tournaments that he runs. They're very tough tournaments too. That's our enemy having to stretch across the table. Matt does it so flawlessly. Very nice lead by Matt, hiding that cue ball nicely behind the 7-9. Jonas is gonna have to kick at this. Don't think he can quite make that shot. He's probably looking to see if he can get that into that side pocket with kicking it. He's gotta measure out the shot. Did he get it? Oh, so close. Very close. Very nice cut in that 5. Wow. Didn't make it, but he got that nice leave out of it, hiding that cue ball. It snuck so perfectly between the 9 and 7 to land just right behind that 6 ball. At least Jonas got a hit on it. But he left Met a shot in the side pocket for this 5. It's a very nice roll. I'm gonna roll too far because you can lose view of that 7 if you roll a touch too far. Fortunately, Met did get a nice view on that 7 ball. So Met could very well get this rack. He definitely needs it. To everyone that has subscribed to the channel, I do appreciate it. Everyone that's viewing, I appreciate all the viewers, even if you're just a lurker watching the match. It all counts into supporting the stream. Alright, this is Matt's opportunity. He missed the last couple wrecks that he could have had. Let's see if he can secure this one and get some confidence back. There we go. It is now 1-3 with the Jonas in the lead. Really appreciate Jonas's braking style. Fortunately, to get anything on the brake this time. Leaving Jonas eyes on the one ball. And it is a decent drive. 6 hours, 40 minutes. If you're committed and adventurous, it might be worth the drive, but being that it's on a Sunday, the last matches of this tournament being on a Sunday, might be a little rough if you have to work that following Monday. This looks like it's going to be a fairly open table for Matt. I wonder if they're gonna have a ref come and move the magic rack by the time it gets down to the 9 ball. Even though the magic rack is pretty thin and sits on the table flat, it still can kind of manipulate a little bit when the ball rolls over it. So I think I would like to have the magic rack removed by the time I get to that 9 ball. Oh, and that's gonna remove it. Oh, didn't look like it was sitting on, so that's perfect. Didn't have to wait on the ref after all. Alright, Matt can close the gap here. Let's see if he does it. There you go. That brings him 2-3 against Jonas. If he keeps this up, he could keep this a close match or even get ahead of Jonas. Very nice break, but unfortunately he didn't make anything on the break. Kind of giving Jonas an open table here. Kind of a tough leave here for that 3. It looks like he has a little bit of window. I don't know if he can make it though. Oh, he could. I stand corrected. Looks like he's gonna kind of roll this a little bit. Giving himself an angle on that 6 ball so he can go back on the 7. This could be a run out for Jonas on this last 4 balls. Alright, Jonas is starting to sneak away again. He's bringing it 4-2. I know I won't be live tomorrow for the final matches of this tournament, but you guys make sure to subscribe and share the stream because I will definitely have more good matches coming up in the future. I have a couple of tournaments lined up. I'm going to post the schedule here on YouTube, and it's also on my Facebook page as well for anyone that's following me on Facebook if you want to keep up with that. was a nice hit, but it rolled a little too far, giving Jonas the leave on that 2-ball. So he got a little excited there. I think the tough part will be the 5-ball to the 6-ball. The 6 and 8 are sitting pretty close together. So it'll be interesting to see how he plays this shot to get on the 6-ball or to break those open so he has a shot on the 6. Jonas's cue ball control is very nice. The magic rack got in his way. Looks like he's just gonna leave it down there. So he's very, very channeled into this. This is Heather commentating. Welcome to my stream. And this is the last round of the night. The final round, well, the final round of tonight is at 8 p.m. And then stage 2 is going to be starting tomorrow at 11 a.m. Depending on what matches are still going on by the time this one's done, I can swap over to a different match once this one is completed. Looks like they're taking a little break right now before they continue to match. So if anybody needs something to drink, a snack, or anything, now's the time to get up and go grab it before they start playing again. Made a ball on the break, but he can't. I don't know. I think he could probably see the one ball a little bit. Looks like he has a little bit of a window here. bad leave, but he did give Jonas a window. When you leave them a window... Oh no, he didn't give him a window. My apologies. He's jumping it. Very good shot. Got some movement out of that 9 ball. And he's gonna get a reward. Looks like he did. Then depending on when these guys finish, if there's still a match going on, I'll swap over to the next live table. Only table I can't stream is the feature table, which we have the 2 brothers playing on right now. So if you want to watch that match, you can get the pay-per-view, and you can get $5 off of that pay-per-view if you want to use my link. Then 1-9 combo is kind of sitting pretty there, I'm not gonna lie. And it looks like Jonas is gonna line this one up. Oh, I stand corrected. He did not get this one. Let's see what Met's gonna do here. Not a bad lead. Very nice lead by Jonas. Looks like Met is gonna be looking at possibly kicking this shot. Possibly kicking the 1 into the 9, seeing if that window's there. If the Rodney Morris Brandon Schuff match is still playing after this one, I will swap over to that one. But right now, Rodney is up 5-4 against Brandon Schuff. Very nice attempt by Met. They're definitely going for this 9 ball right here. Cue ball rolled just a little too far. Not further than what Jonas wanted. I think he rushed that shot a little bit there. And that was a tough angle he had on that 3-ball to cut it into the corner. Very nice shot by Matt. Kind of a clean open table right here. Oh, Matt, I know your short people problems. I struggle with it too. Sometimes you just gotta try and get on the table, leaving one foot on the floor. Very beautiful shot. And it's not an easy one to do either, having to lean over the table like that. Nice little bump. This could be Matt's rack right here. Looks like I missed a rack for Jonas. Jonas is actually at 5. So that is my fault. I am using my own scoreboard here because the digital pool scoreboard runs a little quicker than the video feed, and I don't want you guys to be spoiled with the digital pool scoreboard, because it will show you who won that rack before they even finish that rack. Because there is a delay there, and I don't want that to mess up the match or spoil it for whoever watches in the future after this live stream is done. So that now brings Jonas 5-3 with Matt. Matt does have the capabilities to come back too. He's definitely no slouch. He's a very strong player. And he plays on predominantly 9 foot, so he's definitely no stranger to a 9-foot table. Nice break by Jonas. He could see the 2-ball, pocketed the 1, and the 3 is sitting nicely in that pocket. Oh yeah, Matt, he does. I would like to go see one of his tournaments sometime, but I don't think I would want to play in them because his tournaments are very, very tough tournaments to play in. But his tournaments are definitely well known here in New York. His tournaments as well as the Joss Tour. If you live up in the Northeast, you definitely know the Joss Tour. With Mike Zuglin. It's extension time. Gotta stretch across the table. Seeing these guys having to stretch across the table but leaving 1 foot on the floor makes me really want to go watch the Buffaloes tournament, where you don't use a bridge in their tournament. You can literally climb right into the center of that table. You don't need to have a foot on the floor. Like, just lay right on the table and make that shot. I don't know if anyone's seen pictures of the Buffalo tournament, but that one's pretty entertaining to me. Alright, Jonas can run away with this one here, creating an even bigger gap between him and Matt. Alright, that brings that rack 6-3. Jonas getting a 3-rack lead right now here against Matt. He only needs 3 more to finish this match, where Matt needs 6 more. And definitely very unique to that one. If I had the opportunity to stream that tournament, I'll jump right onto that. That would be a very fun and entertaining tournament to stream. And I'm sure there will be a bunch of people in the comment section like, oh, you can't do that. You're not supposed to be climbing on the table. Don't you have to have 1 foot on the floor? Blah, 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 blah. A ton of controversy. But if you're familiar with the pool world and the streaming and you see all these tournaments, you know that that is a normal for that location. Nice break by Matt. And then you can see that 2-ball. Looks like it might be a bank shot for the 2-ball though. Didn't quite get the bank, but he did a good leave and set that cue ball right up against the 7. So I don't think he can go for this shot because that 7 is right up against the ball, so he's going to have to go for a kick here. Let's see if Jonas can get a good hit on this ball. He did touch it. He did hit the 2-ball. That was very slow, but you definitely saw that 2-ball move in the contact of the cue. And he got a good leave out of it too. He's smiling at face. Oh, look at him. It's like, how? How did this ball not scratch? Jonas got so lucky with that shot. It didn't scratch and got that perfect leave. 'Cause he's hooked in that pocket. It looks like you can see a bit of it. I'm gonna have to put some spin on it to get the contact. Wow. Not a bad leave in. Glad he didn't scratch. Not gonna lie, I am rooting for Matt because he is from my area, so I'm a little biased there. I do appreciate Jonas's play style and his skill in shooting. I always enjoy watching him play at Turning Stone. He's definitely a character. This is a pretty open table here. A nice roll. Get on the 5 ball. He just has to come from the 6 down to the 7. And then he could be out. I think that would be the hardest one, going back and forth on here. As long as he gets down on that 7 ball, he should be good. And seeing how the brothers are doing down on that very far end table in the stream. That is the feature table. And it is currently 5-7. Yannick is at 7. Quentin is at 5. So that must be a really good match down there between the brothers. And then the one in the middle. Let's see. Hunter is down 3-7 against Walter in that middle table on the stream. Matt didn't quite want that leave, you could tell by his reaction alone. Definitely have to focus on this shot because you don't want to give Jonas the opportunity to get to 7 racks, especially when you're down quite a bit. Not quite where he wanted to be, unfortunately. Let's see, is he gonna go for the bank on this? Looks like he's gonna try it. Just gotta measure and find his aiming point. Let's see how he's gonna execute this shot. It's not an easy one. Is he gonna get it? There it is. Beautiful bank by Matt. He hit it nice and easy too, just so he can make the ball. Nothing too crazy. You do want to be careful with those so you don't scratch, because that was a tough bank. So that brings Met 4-6 against Jonas. He's slowly catching up, but it is Jonas's break, so Jonas is very much capable of breaking and running. Alternate break definitely allows that for each opponent to have the opportunity to break and run. But with the 9 on the spot, makes it just a touch harder to get a lot of control on there. And it also is a little bit harder to get a golden break too, but I have seen a couple of them. He made the 1 ball, and it looks like the 5 might have gotten in the way just a little bit there. Very nice. I don't know if you guys heard that little growl from the dog. She thinks she hurt somebody, but she didn't. She's a little delusional sometimes. Now that you mentioned it, I just looked at the picture of him. And you know, if his hair was a little bit longer, a little more curly, he probably could definitely pull off Sam from the Lord of the Rings. I actually really love those movies. Very good movies. Not quite what he wanted, unfortunately. This will give Met an opportunity to get even closer to Jonas and trying to even out this race. Also, Police, you got me wanting to watch Lord of the Rings now again. I might have to plan a kind of a Lord of the Rings week to watch those movies. You know, as a small streamer, it is kind of exciting to see I broke the 80 viewer mark. So I do have 80 viewers, which is pretty awesome. It's nice to see that people do appreciate the small streamers here. And I am rooting for Met, you guys. I'm rooting for Met because he's from my area. I'm sure some of you are definitely rooting for Jonas. I think it's a really good movie series. Some people think otherwise, but that's fine. I appreciate it. Here we go. Pocket that ball and bring it to 5. Very nice. Alright, now it's 5-6 between Jonas and Matt. They can make this a close race here. And just gotta wait for the ref to come over to rack the balls. They have probably one ref every 2 tables or so. I kind of go back and forth. And if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe and share. I will be bringing more content like this in the future, and I do also go to locations in person to do live streams, so the views would be a little different from the way this one looks like. But I definitely do have remote streams lined up through Digital Pool Stream Syndicate. And if anybody wants to watch a pay-per-view from this tournament, I have a link that you can get $5 off if anyone's interested. This is a good break by Matt. And he can't see the 2-ball. That's the unfortunate one. These guys have such good breaks, but every now and then, when you can't see the object ball after you make a ball, makes it tough, unfortunately. Let's see if he's gonna opt to push this ball or if he's gonna try and go for it. It looks like he might be pushing. I think he just told Jonas he's gonna push. Let's see if he's gonna push the 7-ball up to the rail maybe. Or I'll push the cue ball further away, but still kind of give an eye on the 2. Or put it somewhere where he's confident in making it, but Jonas will give the shot back. There's lots of decisions that he could do for this. Let's see. Went for the push. Leaving Jonas the window. Hi Evan, this is Heather commentating. Welcome to my stream. I'm the main commentator of the stream and I am the owner of the stream, or the streaming page, not the video feed. The video feed is brought to you by Digital Pool. I'm just remoting into their cameras so I can provide the content. But my name is Heather, otherwise known as Roller Girl. Not much. How are you doing, Evan? I hope you had a good day. So this is the last round for the night. This is the 8 p.m. round. If there's still other matches going after this one, I will grab another table, but that depends on who's still playing. Because all these matches are starting to finish up a little bit here. And the next round will start at 11 a.m. tomorrow, which I won't be able to stream that one. So I'm gonna have to... So if you guys want to watch some of the more of these videos, you can get the pay-per-view or find somebody that's also streaming these on YouTube. Which I think are only a couple of people. I think there's someone on Facebook streaming. Where are you watching from, Evan? I'm not actually in this venue streaming. I'm at home streaming. So this tournament is in Virginia. It is at a location called On Q Sports Bar and Grill over in Front Royal, Virginia. But I am streaming from home. This is what's called a remote stream with Digital Pool Syndicate. Oh, nice. I think I have another viewer in here from Long Island. So you're probably also familiar with Mets tournaments up in New York City. And probably even familiar with some of Zuglin's Joss Tour tournaments. We'll see what Jonas is gonna do here. I think he's gonna probably go for a combo. Or maybe go for a defensive shot. He went for neither of what I've mentioned. A very good shot, but left him a little tough on that 5 ball. Okay, previously from Long Island. Jonas has been making some difficult shots. How nice. Do you miss competing in tournaments and playing in leagues? Looks like he's gonna draw this ball for the 8. And Jonas could be out here. Just don't do that. Just telling the ball you're not supposed to do that. You had one job. And that was to get into the spot that you're supposed to land. And you can't even do that, cue ball. I love seeing Jonas's reactions every now and then. They're very theatrical. Oh, nice. That's a good Fargo, 632. Met has to make sure he gets good contact on this 8-ball. Doesn't want to make it easy for Jonas to win another rack. So that's going to put Jonas even closer to the hill than what he would feel than what Met would feel comfortable with. Yeah, you gotta find that fire again to play. But at least you're still somewhat active and picking up the stick at least a couple times a week. Even if it is just playing League, you're still kind of keeping that muscle memory, that stance, trying to keep those good habits. So if you do ever decide to get back into competing in, you still have your basics down with playing, and then you could just get right back into practicing and get tournament ready. Nice, 7:15 to 7:30. So that means you could be a pretty good player too. A very competitive player at that range. But you know you have all your mechanics down, so if you ever do want to get back into it, you're good to go. You just gotta figure out what's gonna give you that drive and that fire to push you to play in those tournaments. I like playing in tournaments myself, but I think I kind of like streaming them a little bit better. I notice when I play in regular League play, I don't really have the drive or that killer instinct to just win. But when I play in tournaments, I do kind of get that killer instinct, that want to win, that need to win. Like I gotta go for it. You start to get that competitive spirit when you get into a tournament. But League play is a little, yeah. Sometimes you can feel it. Other times it's kind of, you're a little lazy with it. Absolutely, I like that. The triple D. Determination, dedication, and drive. Uh-oh. Met gave Jonas ball in hand with just 2 balls remaining on the table. Jonas can take this and run and get to 7 racks. Sorry about the barking. My dog just gets a little excited sometimes. Alright, 7-5. Met's not going down without a fight. Let's see what kind of break Jonas is gonna give us. There's his little leg kick. Didn't quite get eyes on that 2 ball, so he can either go for a jump, which looks like he could go for a kick or even just a push. Let's see what he's gonna opt to do. Is he gonna try and kick at this ball? Well, he might. I think he has a window to see it. I couldn't tell from this angle if he did or not. Very nice. He had the window to make it. I was wrong. It was a pretty open table too. Every ball has a pretty open pocket. Jonas seems fired up now. That's a good question. Who's the best player over on Long Island? Would you know, Evan? Alright, looks like Jonas might bring this to a hill match for him. And Met's kinda buried in the hole right now. Jonas is definitely fired up after that last rack. There it is. 8-5, and I think it's gonna be Met's break. And looking over at the bracket right now, it looks like Rodney Morris and Brandon Schuff are both 8-8, so that both of those guys are on the hill. We have Hunter and Walter playing on that middle table right now. Walter's on the hill, 8-5. Let's see how the brothers doing. The brothers have just finished. Yannick beat Quentin 9-6. We have Sullivan Clark is playing Lam Dang. Sullivan is up 7-6. Boris is playing Matt. Boris is down 5-6. Payne McBride is down 4-7 against Mika Van Berkel. I think that's how you say his last name. If I butcher names, I am totally sorry. I am terrible at pronouncing. Thank you for tuning in, David Jones. I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone that's lurking and watching right now. I'm sure a lot of people are more so watching on their TV because YouTube is beneficial for that. Oh yeah, Yonik is definitely a really good shooter. Hey Todd, I will definitely be able to get some rest tonight 'cause this one shouldn't be a long one like it was last night. I should be getting to Copper City just after 10 o'clock. Knock on wood, there's no traffic. Absolutely, 3 Ds of pool. Like Evan said, determination, dedication, and drive. Something to always remember. Maybe we could put that into a bumper sticker to put on a car. And I hope you're not going to be too tired from working a lot, Todd. Not a bad shot by Met. But unfortunately, it's ball in hand. And an open table, too. I'm hoping Met can get another rack. I am still rooting for Met, even though he's down by quite a bit right now. I gotta root for the guy that's from my state, you know? Looks like Brandon Schuff just beat Rodney Morris 9-8. This could very well be a run out for Jonas here. He just has to get from the 5 to the 8 to the 6 ball and then
He should be in the clear after that. Well, that's good. I don't have to worry about rushing to get there then. Imagine you are all that driving. Sure, get sleep when you can. As long as I'm not going through an insomnia phase, I'm squared away. Alright, Jonas can close this here. Jonas has been fired up these past couple racks since he overrolled that one ball a couple racks ago. Alright, I'm looking at these other matches to see which one we could play next, or put on the table next. Let's see. Maybe I'll go over to Boris Ivanovsky, playing Matt Clatterbuck. Terrible wet names, I'm sorry. Let me see what table this is on. Table 1. I hope this isn't the table that constantly freezes a lot. Please don't be the freezing table. Alright, we're good. Let me adjust this so it's not super far zoomed in. Oh, it is pretty close. It's a shaky table. Yep, I'm over here on table 1 now. Let me see if I can get their scores up here real quick on the stream for you. Ignore my clicky keyboard. So Matt is currently up 6-5 against Boris. Let me pull up their Fargo rates. So Boris is a 736. And let's go get the other one. Alright, so 736 versus 733 Fargo. And Matt is now up 7-5 against Boris. I didn't realize my note was still up there. Let me take that off. And these are the final matches of tonight. So I won't have any more after these rounds are done. And I forgot, this camera does not have any background sound on it.
I'm gonna see if I can get some background noise on it. So just bear with me for a moment. So let's see if I can. Nope. We'll go back to one. Sorry about that. Alright. There we go. And this camera's also a little shaky. So I have noticed a couple of these ones. There's one camera that's shaky, that's this one. And there's another camera that does kind of freeze a little bit. And it looks like these guys are currently on a break. So look at the bracket real quick to see where everyone else is at. Looks like Jeremy Long just beat Georgie. He beat Georgie 9-4, so Jeremy's going to go over to stage 2. Yannick beat his brother 9-6. He's going over to stage 2. Currently, Sullivan Clark is up 8-6 against Lam Dang. And Brandon Schuff beat Rodney Morris. So Brandon's going to stage 2. We have Mika Van Berkel up 8-4 against Payne McBride. I had Payne McBride on my stream last night. He was the last part of my stream last night. And then Walter is still at 8-6 against Hunter. So a lot of these matches are starting to finish up for the night. Let's see if I can find some background music. I might do some copy-free music to play in the background so it's not dead silent when I'm not talking. Looks like this camera is freezing just a little bit here. So if this does bother you guys, let me know and I could switch over to a different camera feed. I don't know why this one's acting the way it is. So let me know if you guys want to switch over. I don't know if this is gonna go well with this constant freezing, so I think I'll probably have to switch over to a different match. I'm so disappointed in this. So I would have liked to watch this one. We can go over to Lamb. Well, that one just finished. Sullivan Clark just beat Lam Dang. All of these matches are pretty much on the hill except for Matt and Boris. On a freezing table. It was so disappointing. Alright. This is getting a little bad. bad. So I'm gonna change this table. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna change over to table 5. That was getting a little rough there with the constant freezing. So now I changed it over to Payne McBride and Mika Burkle because the Boris match was freezing a little too much and becoming unbearable to watch. And this is the other match that is coming to an end. And then this will probably be the last one for tonight. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream so far. Walter just beat Hunter Frazier 9-6. And I'm going to take a look to see who is all going to stage 2 tomorrow. We have Felix Vogel, Gregorio, who's also known as Guama. They're going to stage 2. John Mora, Sam Henderson, Moritz, and Nathan Childress, Tyler Starr, and Lee Van Corteza. Those are all the players from the A side that are going over to stage 2. Sorry, Pool Ace. It would have been nice to stream that match if it wasn't freezing as much as it was. I tried to stream another match from that table earlier today and I just couldn't do it, unfortunately. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger so I can see the table. But I do appreciate you guys hanging around with me and watching the stream. And then from the B side, we have Jeremy Long, Yannick, Sullivan Clark, Jonas Soto, Brandon Schuff, and Walter are all going from the B side over to stage 2. Just have a couple more matches left to finish, which everybody's pretty much on the hill for the most part. Right now this is Mika or Micah. I'm not sure how he pronounces his name. I had Payne on my stream last night. He did very good. He's a very defensive player. And he has a very strong defensive game too. And it looks like Mika could, or Micah, however you pronounce it, he could run away with this table because it is a very open table. Let's see what his Fargo is real quick. So he is a 729 Fargo. A very good shooter. He's a 729 and Payne is a 692. So Payne did very good in this tournament. He managed to get all the way to the end of stage 1. And this kid is going to move on to stage 2. Very good shooter. And it's very young also. So he's probably not even in his prime yet. Alright, everyone. I would stream the final match that is playing tonight, but I can't because that camera is constantly freezing. So I appreciate everybody sticking around for my stream and everybody coming in. Stay tuned for more. I will probably have some videos coming or streams coming from the Battle of the Bull tournament, which is going to have some really good matches, but I might not be the one commentating that because I will be on a Vegas trip. Somebody else will be monitoring that for me. But if I do go live, you guys, if you're subscribed, you will get that notification. So thank you everybody for tuning in, and I will catch you guys on the next one. I really appreciate it, and have a good night.